Everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. And I don't need you to okay it. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pounds. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. They took it to 10.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Miami Dolphins. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they interplay in this one. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they come off a good win in the opener on the road, and they get a second road game here.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't really do them any favors, but if they can win here and get to 2-0 on the road, they could be well set up for the rest of the year.
Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go! Watch the twist, watch the twist!
A first down throw for Mariota. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Mariota. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Well, someone came to play today.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. We heard about it all week, didn't we? Especially when we visited practice. He thought he had a good matchup in front of him, and he's taking full advantage right now.
Here's Mariota, and he can't get away. Mariota goes down, and that is going to be a safety. So how's that for an interesting way to start this ball game?
First drive of the game and you go backwards all the way into your own end zone?
Guess it kind of makes you wonder what else we might have in store here in this one.
Good work, boy. Let's go. Let's go. Hit it. 58, Mike. Hey, tight down. There you go. Let's go.
They begin with a run by Smith, and they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
Hey, Schuster. Quad.
Second and long. Throwing left side, it's complete. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Touchdown.
A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Colts strike quickly here for 6 points. Extra point splits the uprights. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Let's go. Let's go.
First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive. And last time they surrendered to safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt.
Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with third down coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't.
On third down, Flanagan, and he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it.
2nd and 9 now. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down. You know, he's already thrown for more yardage in this first quarter than he did all of last week.
And I could be snarky here and say, well, he didn't throw for a lot of yards last week, but the bottom line is he put in a great week of practice and really came out ready to go in this one.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Staying on the ground, this time it's Smith. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 43.
Rock it.
Looking to throw. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Pilot, 64, weak. Orbit. Shoot.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
Well, no takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Colts in possession, as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Go. Ready.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 26.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Switch. 51 the mic. 51 the mic. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Right now. Mike 51. Exit. Get it.
A 1st down carry for Smith. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Hey. Go.
He'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the 1st round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. They're going to look to throw. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this 1st half. A 2nd one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
He's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. A 4th down, no problem. 19 yards that time, but now it's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Smith. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
You got tight.
He'll drop to throw. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. From 3 yards out. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Now he's having a nice little 1st half here, partner.
And it's a 1st half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive Unit now, they get set to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. To throw is Mariota. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 3rd down, Mariota. And that will be incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
This is taken at the 15. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So here are the Colts to take over. They're in the driver's seat right now, and they were winners last week over the Seattle Seahawks, so trying to keep that momentum moving in the positive direction. They'll run on 1st down. It's Smith. And he's into the clear. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him.
Here we go.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
That one 28 yards on the ground. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing, Mariota. And that's complete to Jesse James. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt it deep.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Working out of the gun, Mariota. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. But hang on, a flag is down. Now, if it's on the defense, they might decline it and take the points. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The roughing the kicker called on 4th down. What a big break. Leads to a 1st and 10. Mariota. He's got Fuller. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Mariota now. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. From the gun, Mariota. It's complete to Fuller. And they'll rally and stop him short of the 1st down at about the 6. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And it's a fake. He's going to throw it. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On play action, they'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So we reach halftime. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Hey. Be ready. Hurry. Hey.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
4 down. 92. Look at me. Zipper. Night, sweetheart. Yo, go. Come up the ball. Yo, Chief. Ready?
Second half begins with a run by Smith. Accelerating, and off he goes. The 20. And he'll be marked down deep on Miami's side of the field. A huge play that time for the Colts. 68 yards. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
51's the mic. 51's the mic. I don't think you got it, son.
Yes. Let's go. Get set.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for first and goal.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo.
Now.
97's the mic. 97's the mic. Let's go. Let's get this ball back to the
He'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on first and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is. And the pressure gets to him again.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Hey!
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
They'll toss it to Smith. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They go back to the ground with Smith. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on fourth down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They go back to the ground now with Smith. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. 2nd and 2. His throw caught right around the 6. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march. His big game continues. Already has the 3 touchdown grabs, tacking on some more yardage and a first down.
And how precise has his route running been in this game? We just saw him get open yet again, and he's also made adjustments as the defense has tried to really stop him.
65, 65, 65. Check 37, check 37.
Go.
Back to throw here. And this is going to be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
After the sack on first down, Mariota.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Back now in Miami. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Here's Matt Hawk now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And it's fielded at the 34. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And the incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Hey.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on. Right here.
Hey!
51. You must be getting tired of seeing this.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Look at me, zipper.
Check. 51 the mic, boy, 51. Let's go.
On second down now, it's Smith, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll force upon them a 3rd and 14. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14.
Hey, 2.
Back to throw. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
On first down, Smith. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll look to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
His throw caught at about the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Call it a gain of 14 for the second play in a row. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense, because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football.
Now!
58, Mike. I got you.
On second down, here's Smith. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. This offense 2 for 2 converting on these thus far, so why not try again here on 4th down? They'll go for it. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th and goal as they look to finish this one off.
Hey.
58, boy, 58, Mike. Big stop, G. Big stop, let's go.
Hey!
58 is the mic. Go 58 is the mic. Here we go.
They'll run for it here with Smith. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great effort there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? and the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Looking to throw again on second down. Mariota. And he's going to go down. Back at the... ...27-yard line. He's sacked. Mariota from the gun on third down. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
He's going to air one out. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Go!
51's the mic. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Look at me, zipper!
Mike 51. Stop your whining. Mike 51.
On second down, it's Smith. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down.
You ready? Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
X3, 218, chopper.
58, right over there, right over there. Yeah, yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
Smooth. Leo. Hey, lock it.
Nickel.
Go.
They'll drop the throw. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Now the Colts will use their third and final timeout. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth.
Hey, orbit. Gone. You're out. Yo, go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And now, goodness, possession's going to go over right at the 10-yard line. Now, this is a nice little gift wrap situation as they take over first and goal. To throw Mariota. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Will Fuller, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. This is fielded a couple yards deep, and he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now, to put someone back deep just in case something goes in.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult, but guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule, because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Now the final act of this victory, the extra point. It's up and good, and they add one more to what will wind up a fairly lopsided victory. So we had action to the very end of this one, the score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end, and you know, some coaches preach that and tell their teams, that's what I want all the time, and they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So for Indianapolis, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Oakland to take on the Raiders. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins.
S-T-R-O. How many of y'all came to win? Oh, they asking my name, huh? You ready? S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you. Life challenging.